It was a Friday morning when it happened. It had been one of those weeks, you know, the ones where you just feel a bit stressed and anxious and detached, and one moment slips into the next until it all merges into a blur of grey normality with nothing to show for your time except, well, routine, dull normality. I'm sure you felt this way too. So I told myself to get outside every day, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, for a weekend of walks, for a dose of fresh, vibrant reality, a medicine mixture of vast skies and swaying trees and chirping birds. The reserve I visited was home to countless robins, all incredibly tame, even for a species that is known to be less flighty than most. But there was this one particular robin with whom I had such a special experience, and I can't quite believe it happened. It started to follow me, first from tree to tree, then from bridge to bridge, and then from field to field.
This little robin keeps following me wherever I go. I'd love to be your friend. Yeah, you sing so pretty.
One of my greatest wishes in life is to feel truly connected and a part of nature, to be accepted by it rather than a blundering species always ignorant and sitting and staring in from the outside. And then along comes this robin, instantly dispelling all the stress and ill mood of my week.
Down on the fence post now. Thank you, little guy. I really appreciate it, little guy. You're making my whole week. Alright, I'm moving on now. Oh, yeah, you want to come? Sure. We'd love you to.
In wintertime, robin hold territories to protect their scarce food resources that get them through those colder months, which means they never stray far from one particular place. So for that robin to follow me for as long as it did, across as much terrain as it did, I easily could be seeing it through a lens of my own making and desire, but it felt like it was choosing to be with me, to offer its company to myself. It was nature seeing me and accepting me, an invite into the world I so desperately want to be a part of. I didn't understand why it was behaving as it was, but I didn't need to know either to think it was special.
Another field, and he's still with me. What is going on? Why are you being so nice to me? You look a bit fluffy. It is a bit cold this morning. I'm in my puffer. I get you. Just want to invite you to sit here with me. It's so peaceful. The view is gorgeous. It goes out over you can't quite see it, but a winding natural river course that they're trying to regen here, out onto the rolling hills of the downs. And all I can hear is bird chatter. I can hear the teacher of great tits and the melodious tunes of robins and the caws of crows and jackdaws and the cackling of magpies. It's wonderful. And this is what a natural river course should really look like. In England particularly, we've really canalised our riverways, so that's when you make them really straight. They're often concrete edged, not natural at all, whereas natural river courses will have reed beds along the side. They'll have their curves and meanders where they naturally cut through the landscape rather than just being channeled in one straight direction. And there'll be ebbs and flows and different strengths of currents down different bends, and banks will build up on one side where the current brushes past, and then be more silty and gentle banks on the other side where the silt gets deposited. And this creates a myriad of habitats, and so it supports a myriad of biodiversity. and this is the way rivers are naturally meant to be. This also really helps flooding, because in times of excess rainfall, the water can drain off onto the land quite naturally, and that's when you get floodplains. But when you're canalising, the water can't do this, it just has to keep channeling down one river force, and this is where you end up with big flash floods. Yeah, more for natural river courses, and this is what one should start to look like. If ever you can hear a robin singing, but you can't quite see it, the best tip I have is that they like to sing from high or raised, concealed perches. So, you know, if you're near a bush, kind of look into the bush a bit high up. If it's a tree, do the same, and try to look for a bit of a mass or a twitch of movement, and you'll generally see it there. Why are they following me? I'm going, guys. Are they shooing me or are they following me? There you are. Hello. Hello. How are you doing? You want a treat now, huh? Good boy. Walk on. Okay, off you go. Good afternoon. As you can probably tell from my change of attire, it is a new day. It's actually so mild out today. So mild, in fact, that this is the first day of the year where my outer layer is just a windbreaker rather than a really warm coat, and I'm plenty fine, although you can tell I am storing a lot of heat in this new headband. And it's a nice walk today because I've got another little fellow along with me, my family dog, Buddy. He loves this muddy puddle. Or when your dog is too obedient and you call him back and he just goes slap into your face. Bud, come here. This is a perfect example of a dog paw print. It's easy to get them confused with fox prints at some time because they actually both have 5 toes, but if you think in their front legs, their 5th toe is actually really high up on their leg. So only 4 come in the pad, so that's them there. It's a really wide track for a dog compared to the fox, which is quite long in length. And when you come to these claw prints here, the foxes are really sharp, they're very pointed, whereas the dogs, if they show up at all, tend to be a lot blunter because obviously they're walking on pavements a lot of the time. And with fox paw prints, if it's in finer sediment, they actually have hairs on their paw pad, which is this bit here, so that will show up in the tracks as thin lines. This doesn't have it. Pretty asymmetrical as well, you can draw a line down the middle. And another thing to tell fox and dog tracks apart is if you draw a line over the first and fourth toe, in a dog track, you can see it will cut through these middle toes, whereas in a fox, it will slice right between them and won't cut them. So that's another way to tell apart. It always amazes me how significantly much more your boots can weigh when you've got a clod of mud stuck to them. I love how tall the trees are here. Another thing I learned from my tracks and sign course is how to tell what animals in the area by the way they eat pine cones. So different animals like pine cones, particularly field mice, different species of mice, and squirrels. And the way you can tell by what has been eating it is squirrels are a lot more of a messy eater. They'll generally leave something at the base and a little tuft at the top. So this is definitely a squirrel that ate it. And comparably, mice are a lot neater eaters, so they'll eat it a lot more down, it'll be a lot more even. They won't leave these tufts at the top, at the bottom. If you find a little cavey area by a tree with lots of these outside that are neatly eaten, it's often a place that a mouse is calling home for a bit. So one last sign that I thought would just be cool to share with you. I haven't got an example, but it's badger poo. How to tell badger poo? I know, very exciting topic. Just hear me out. Hello. So basically, herbivore poo, because of all the plant-based diet obviously that they're eating, it produces a pellet-type dropping. But with carnivores, because of the meat they're eating, it produces these very elongated poos. So that's the first time where you can tell, is it a carnivore, is it a herbivore? Badgers specifically. Badgers can be quite fibrous, so you can even see hairs in it, or actually they can be quite a bit of a splat depending on what their diet is. So they really like earthworms, and that makes their poo go really slimy. But the one main thing that you can tell if it's a badger poo is because they actually like to dig often little latrines. So if you see a poo in a bit of a dugout ditch, you know that's badger, and in fact they often use it to mark their territories as well when they're in family groups and territory wars. So if you keep seeing the same latrine with poo dotted around a certain area, you know you've actually found the edge of a badger territory, which I just thought was quite cool. He hates fences as much as I do. Not natural, are they, bud? Or are all these man-made barriers?
For my final walk of the weekend, it was beautiful, clear blue skies, and that fresh, sweet smell of spring in the air that you always forget until you smell it again and wonder how it could have ever left your mind. I headed out with my family for this one, which is a Sunday tradition of ours. We always try and get out and explore somewhere new together, and this time it was a Downs link, starting in a town called Southwater. It was an out and back route, fairly straight the whole way. I saw some very funky, fungal fruiting bodies, which is a lot harder to say than you'd think, and enjoyed a golden walk of a bath the whole couple of hours we were out. With a Midas touch, the sun was turning all woody and brown tones to gold, and although I love the cool, crisp air of winter and how fresh it feels on your face and in your lungs, there is nothing like that feeling of gentle warmth on your face as winter melts into spring. I found myself squinting and smiling the whole way, and that's the magic of getting outside. So if, like me, you're feeling stressed after a week of work, I can only recommend a weekend of walks. It's the perfect antidote.
Hello, you found me. Okay, let's go.